So I want to talk about an interesting thing that I'm noticing with a lot of people. And I noticed this with myself for the longest time. It's the idea that you try to seek um, empathy from other people by talking about how these experiences that you've had have been so bad in your life, whatever it may have been. Everybody's gone through something, and this is a really dangerous thing for your mindset because people are going to you tell people these terrible things that have happened to you, and people are going to just be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Okay, no one's going to be like, "Oh, shut the fuck up and grow up." Maybe your bros will do that, but that's what you actually need, because what you're going to see with a lot of people is that they kind of, a lot of people will drink, a lot of people will do drugs, a lot of people will do these types of things, and people will say, well, it's attention seeking. Um, it's not really attention seeking. People have rewarded them. So there's this idea of conditioning. There's a very interesting psychologist. I forget his first name, Pavlov, and he came up with the idea of Pavlov's law. And essentially what he did was he would ring a bell every single time he would show a dog some meat. Okay, he would hang up I think he'd hold up a steak, which dogs would love that. I mean, it'd be freaking amazing. He'd hold up a steak, and the dog's mouth would start watering, but he'd ring a bell at the exact same time that he'd hold the steak. And eventually, he would just ring the bell, and the dog's mouth would salivate. Okay? It associated the bell with the steak. Okay? And what's going on is that you're associating reward. Okay? You're associating with reward in terms of, I guess you would say, emotional investment from somebody else, which means that would increase your potential survival in terms of somebody else helping you out in the wild. So, like, if something went wrong, if somebody else is investing emotionally into you, chances are they're going to be more likely to want to help you than some stranger on the street, okay, who has no clue who you are. That's why emotional investment is actually very important. But from your own perspective, it's not. From the individual, it's not, because what you're doing is you're focusing on these negative things. You're focusing on these negative emotions all the time, and that becomes your identity. That becomes you. And you're going to constantly be getting this feeling as if, like, oh, I've got to just open up to them emotionally. Oh, I've got to tell them about these emotions and these things that happened to me. And, oh my God, I was raped and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. You're really like, what? I was raped. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck that you were raped. Okay? I don't give a fuck. What you need to do is have the mindset that I am not that person, by the way. I am not this person that is constantly miserable. That is not me, and I want nothing to fucking do with that. And now notice how you become more present to the moment when you say that, when you tell yourself that. Okay? Now what's happening here is that you've taken your past and said, fuck off. Don't want anything to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Get away from me. I want nothing to do with it. The past goes away, and you can now live in the present moment, which is where you should be. And then what you can do through meditation, and I highly recommend meditating. You want to meditate for about, I would say, maybe 15 minutes a day. That would be a good place to start. 5 minutes a day, maybe, if you can't do that. And you just sit still, close your eyes, and you want to think of absolutely nothing. And I'm going to start going into a meditative state. I don't want to do that. Okay? You want your mind to be calm. You don't want to think of anything. You don't want to have any voice going on in your head where you're speaking all the time. Okay? You want to try and calm it as much as possible. And once you get good at that, then you want to start visualizing things. Okay? And you want to start with like small shapes, for example, and different objects and different things. And once you master that one, then what you can start to do is you can start to visualize exactly what you want to be, exactly what you want to see in your mind. And this is the way that you tune your mind into focusing on your true self. Who is your true self? Your true self is aligning your reality with who you want to be. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Your true self is aligning your reality with who you want to be. That is your true self. Think about it for a second. Think about it. If you want to be congruent with what's up here, then why would you be behaving in a way that's not you? So, for example, someone that has social anxiety, for example, is going to be, oh God, I'm scared. I want to get a girl, but I can't. I'm scared to talk to her. Is that you? Is that you? Is that who you want to be? No. Who is it that you want to be? Visualize that person. And become that person mentally. What would be the mindset of that person? What would they be thinking? What would they be doing? That's you, isn't it? You're visualizing, isn't it? After all. You just snap into it. You get into that mindset. Okay? And that's one of the most powerful techniques. And so once you develop both the meditation where you can not focus on anything, where you just have complete void or anything. A lot of people call this void meditation. The occult, oh God, the occult. Oh. Call it void meditation because you're devoid of all thought. Okay? It doesn't have anything to do with spirits or anything. You're just simply trying to calm your mind to the point where you don't think. And then you're going to practice thinking. You're going to practice visualizing certain things. And what you want to try and do is you want to have your goal in mind, visualized as much as possible. And whether this is an entire scenario, you can visualize it in your head. Whether it is it's just, you say that you're trying to lose weight, okay? This is a good one. This is actually really good. Who do you identify with? Do you identify with the fat guy, or do you identify with the ripped guy with six packs, with a six-pack abs? Who do you identify with? Who's you? What are you? I mean, if you're the guy who's like, well, I've always been the fat guy, and that was always who I was throughout my entire life, and at a certain point, I just kind of accepted myself as that. Well, okay, well, then that's who you're going to be. You're going to lose the weight. You may lose it eventually. You may be able to do it. You'll lose it. And then you're going to come directly back to it because you never changed who you are. You never changed. It's up here. Okay? Everything is mental. Everything is in your head. The entire world is in your head. And really what's going to get you to your goals is simply putting in the work. And you'd be amazed if you were to look at the amount of time that you spend doing something outside of your goal, doing something outside of your dream. Okay? You would be dumbfounded. You'd be like, man, I could be doing something with that. I could be doing something over there. I could be doing something with this. I could be doing that. Maybe adding this in there. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, I had about 6 hours that I added throughout my entire day that I didn't know that I had. Where did all this come from? Where did all this time come from? Okay? And that's what the focus is going to do. Okay? That's what it's going to do. And so if you identify, once again, talking about what you identify as, what you visualize yourself as, because that's up here. It's all up here. I mean, people are going to look at you and they're going to see you in a certain way. Okay, every single person is going to see you in a different way. Okay, and we can have enough truth, enough evidence to where we can agree on something. So, for example, I have a hand, and this hand has 5 fingers. Okay, so you're like, it has 5 digits. That's a digit, not a finger. That's a thumb. Fingers, thumb. Okay. Right. Did that really matter? No, it's just a different way of describing something. Okay. But if you identify with your past, you're always going to be your past. And so I think you get it. I I don't know how much more I can explain. I can just ramble on about the same thing over and over again. But it's a very, very powerful thing as far as your mentality goes, to truly break yourself away from your negative mindset. You cannot allow yourself to be rewarded by telling people about these things. Like that's not even you. Fuck that. Find something more interesting to talk about. Maybe this subject. This is interesting. Although most people are jokes. They really are. They don't want to put in any kind of effort into themselves at all. But if you're someone who really cares about yourself and you care about your future, this is how you accomplish your goals. And the other thing I would say is that you can get a vision board. So if you got a vision board would be something where you take a poster and you can go to like different magazines or a computer and print out things. And whatever it is that you want your mind to be focused on, and generally speaking, I would say it should be 1 to 2 things. You don't really want to do much more. I would say one thing would be the best thing. So if you're trying to learn to sing, if that's your goal, you want to be as good as myself here, as good as Patrick over. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to... This sounds so ridiculous. There's probably going to be some chick out there that does this to me. That's why it's kind of scary. But what you're going to want to do is take a bunch of pictures of me and put them on this poster, okay? Take a bunch of pictures of Bruce Dickinson and all the guys. And you put them on the poster, okay? And you have them up on the stage. Stage exactly the way you want to be, and then you're going to add in that lifestyle too. So you're going to have like a bunch of cocaine, that's killing me, off the side here, and a bunch of cocaine and a bunch of meth and heroin and all that good stuff, because that's the rock star lifestyle. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't put anything negative on there. But that's the goal. Anything that you would see, the big house, the big cars, the everything that you would want. And all that this is going to do is it's going to keep your focus on spot. And that's really the secret. It's about putting in the work. There's nothing else. Like, you watch these motivational videos and you're just like to me, I'm just like, these guys are idiots. Just sit there for 15 minutes every single morning. This is all it takes. 15 minutes a day. Okay? 15 minutes a day. First thing when you wake up. Okay? And what you should do actually is wake up, cold shower. Okay? Cold shower, that'll wake you up. And then go sit outside if you can do it, and get some sun. Okay, so I mean, sit outside naked if you can do it. Get some sun, 15 minutes, and visualize your goal. Okay, every single aspect of it, every day, first thing in the morning. Okay, and then what I would do is I would just thank whatever deity you believe in. Just thank you for all the things that I have. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. You're going to have so much energy. You're going to have so much energy to get through your day. I mean, it's going to be like you watch these motivational videos and you're just like, what the fuck was that shit? What was all that? Like, this was enough for my entire day. Like, I didn't waver once. And if you're feeling down, for whatever reason, sit there, meditate, close your eyes, and feel that emotion, whatever it is that you're feeling. Okay? So I'm thinking right now, like, that emotion that I get when I orgasm. And I'm trying to see if I can get myself to be it. It's really stupid, right? But it might be possible if I sat there and focused on it for long enough. And you can toy with your mind. You can toy with your mind in that way. And but I mean, whatever emotion it is that you needed, like say that you're trying to get into a sales mode, like you're in sales mode. You're like, okay, sit there and focus on that feeling. Okay, sit there and think of times where you were in that mode. Focus on that feeling. You got to get there. You got to get your thoughts, which are going to cause your emotions, be aligned with your actions. Okay? I'm giving you guys some really powerful stuff. Why am I doing this? Because I want to create some real strong singers out there. And this is how you do it. Okay? The way you get good at singing is you put in more time than everybody else. That's it. And you might be like, well, what if I blow my voice? Technique. I'm gonna cry about everything. You should be blowing out your voice if you're doing rock music. You should be. You should be. A little bit. I would say be on the safe side. Don't be an idiot. If your voice does start going, do all the lip bubbles. Clean them off. I can't be too loud. I'm actually outside, and you guys can see this. I got this cool little porch over here. Place. And there's my pit bull. She's crazy. Now she's gonna come over here All right, she's gonna come bug me. All right, guys.